Hello viewers, I'm Barry Mtapa. I'm here once again to talk to you about a business tip, the mindset of businesses, because I know that there's a lot of unemployment going on in the country and many graduates are unable to get employment. Many graduates in the health sector, in the financial sector, in the energy sector, in the mining sector, in many sectors that we've offloaded many graduates on the market, and the competition is very high. And at the moment, companies are not employing most of the people because the financial cash flow has begun to grow very slim, because most of the people are finding it difficult to have liquid money to pay the suppliers, and the customers are finding it difficult to pay back because more sales are not doing at the moment. The volumes of many companies has dimmed low or has gone low, has decreased because of the season that we are in. And it's very important that even as individuals, we begin to look at business as another option. We don't have to wait for us to retire. That's when we go into business. We can begin business and marry it with whatever you are doing in a full-time employment. You can do a career development at the same time you're doing something that is to better your life. Because remember, the life that you lead when you are on leave, when you're on a weekend, you're not going for work, it's the life that each one of us is going to live after we leave employment, after we come out of active business running. Definitely we'll leave to other people to carry on. And this is what has prompted me today to talk about the current economical aspect. Many authors and economists spoke about the current 2022. We thought that it was going to be a bit better, but things have begun to go a bit worse. Why? Because Zambia is dependent on imports, and most of the things that we are consuming at the moment in the supermarkets, in the food industry, in the mining sector, in most of the things that we are depending on imports. And the exchange rate has gone up. Yesterday it was trading at 22.2 selling. Other banks were doing at 22.1. The other buying rate was trading at 22.9. So meaning it has become more costly than it was last month. And you remember that we are just in the third month of the year, in the first quarter. So more things are expected to worsen because we are going into election time, and most of the economic activities, they go slow because the government will be concentrating a lot on the campaigns. They will not be doing most of the things that are going to do. Maybe they will do trying to place to impress the social sector, but that will just be in the social sector that will be mainly affected. But these other sectors where you depend on much business, they will be affected a lot. And I want to have us to begin to think that we don't need to depend on one source of income. It's very important that we begin to broaden our thinking, begin to invest in other sources of income. And this is what we call diversification, because diversification is just spreading your sources of income. When you spread your source of income, it becomes easier for you to look at the economical market. Remember, we are talking previously, the previous segment which I was doing the recording, we spoke about having a feasibility study, because most of us, we go into the market without understanding the market, and we go and begin a small scale business. After 2-3 months, you close your business because you didn't do a feasibility study, a market study. You study about the demands, the income, the location, the price, the level of income for the customers. You didn't study about the cash flow that is there, the geographical taste and the preferences of the people that lives in that location where you are opening or you are running your own business. Or the economical aspect, you didn't study the laws that are prevailing in that industry that you are dealing in. You didn't understand the political impact, because at the moment, businesses are affected a lot by the political decisions that have been made, and they are affecting negatively, some are affecting positively. But as we are in, I'm not want to dwell a lot about COVID, because COVID, it looks like it will stay here for a long time. But you find that most of the things that we are going through are being affected by the decisions that are made by politicians, the decisions that are made by the people that are making laws that are changing. Technology also is moving at a faster rate, which is good on a positive note, because it's making us to work from home, to work at any time. You can do even a transfer using a mobile phone, because you're able to do a transfer and make a transaction. But what we need to focus a lot is how are we going to survive in this economy where Zambia is impacted a lot with exchange rates. The food industry is going up. And most of the things were affected by COVID. We are going into the elections and other things that are happening. They are having negative impact on the small scale farmers, on the small scale businesses that are trying to survive. And these usually are affected by the people that are in employment, but they're also trying to hustle on the sideways to try to find the ends meet. And that's why it's very important not to put your money and your sources of income in one type of business. You need to also to open other businesses that are different from what you are doing. I'm not talking about shares, property, real estate. Yes, you can do that, but just simple things that you can able to cover yourself from this economical risk and the political risks that we are facing. Because many, as I said, politicians are making decisions to impress others, but they're affecting small scale businesses. The financial sector is not willing at the moment to give you a loan, to start a loan. And you depend on the government to do everything for you. But you need to think outside the box. You need to think critically and creatively and put in other sources of income. The idea of putting money into other sources of income or in other businesses, it's one, it will help you to cover the economical risks, the political risks, the financial risks, the risk of losing money. For example, if that economical sector is affected by political reasons or is affected by anything that will come to impact your business, you're able to survive because the another business sector that you are running will give you money to sustain the other business. You can divert your money and transfer it to another business. The other thing that it will help you in a long term, it will cover your cash flow and it will cover your debt in your debt sector. It will be able to cover other things that you are able to do. Because even if you are making small returns, you'll be able to safeguard your income. You're able to safeguard yourself. Definitely, I like talking to usually to people that are working because I've been in a pension scheme where I've seen many people suffer after they're out of employment. So it's very important to diversify your sources of income, which they call portfolios. These investment managers or investment analysts, they call it portfolio theory, where you spread your income in another industry. You spread your industry, your other business in another type of business that is different from what you are doing currently. So it's very important that you begin to plan your retirement now, because whilst we are young, the ideas are there. The risk of taking up something is very high. When you get old, people begin to fear when trying to push up something new. But when you're young, you have got that energy, you've got that ambition to drive yourself, to try to achieve your dream. So it's very important to begin to learn how to spray your sources of income. Like I said, that one of the benefits is to cover your loss. In case, for example, the COVID-19 will come and shut your business, the other business that you are doing will be able to continue to sustain you. If you have got a loss, maybe you lose income because you are the debt, you are paying a lot of debt, or the financial sector is unable to lend you in that sector, the other source of business will continue to cover you. So you increase your returns, at the same time you sustain your family, you sustain your levels of income. Then at the same time you broaden your thinking. You learn a lot of things in our industry because each law in business is applicable to another industry. So if it's affected by this one, the other one will be able to sustain you. The other thing is that people at the moment, they're afraid to go into business. They just want to make some money very fast. We are impatient to work slowly so that we begin to build our future. In a long term, we need to focus on a long term so that even if you are making small pieces of money, you're making maybe a 38,000, a 2,000, or 100,000, or 1,000 every month, doesn't mean that you're not doing something. I've got a customer that I was managing recently. He's into hospitality. He owns the mines. He owns he has diversified his portfolios, and he also owns the hotels. And at the same time, this business client, he was able to diversify. He was thinking that maybe he will make a lot of money in the certain business that I was managing him. And they found that he was making about 38,000 every month, or from 38,000 from one transaction. And he stopped working on that because he's used to making a lot of big money. But that's a big company, because a big company is easy to recover when it has faced losses. But for you and me who are doing a small scale industry, it's very difficult for you to recover when you are impacted on a loss. So you need to be patient even if you are making small returns. and you open up other lines of businesses, which you are calling portfolio theory, which will able to cover you in case one loss comes in. It's very important to think outside your box. What is it that you are passionate about, so that you begin to invest your money and your energy and your resources, and make sure that you study the industry that you are going into. Every market have got laws, have got impacts, challenges, have got strength and opportunities. But you need to know where you are taking your money, what applies to this, what impact will it bring, what financial loss will it affect my business, what type of people will I employ to be able to cover my business, to able to run my business. Very important to be able to think critically and strategically. Believe you me, at the moment, the only thing that is able to help us is we open sources of income. We don't put our eggs into one basket. You find that you are doing a business for running a barber shop, for example, and the barber shop is shut. You begin to go into welding, you begin to go in other small scale, into fish farming. There's a lot of money at the moment in fish farming. I know a lot of friends that are doing that. They are doing a lot of things. They are doing a lot of things in food industry, and you begin to invest in other things that are able to cover your loss. Losses are there because the market is changing fast. We need also to change the way we think. We need to open up sources of income. Don't depend on your salary alone. Begin to run something now, so that you learn the mistakes whilst you're in employment. When you fail, you can put money from your income and invest it back into your business, because you are learning the industry, you are learning the challenges, you grow, because growth is in making mistakes. Once you grow into that business, begin to know. Be patient when you're making small returns. Don't be fast into quitting, that you just want to make money, the big money there. Small will take you for a long time. They will begin to be a big thing. So begin to be patient, work hard, work smartly, invest yourself in your knowledge, package, increase your value for yourself and also for your business, so that you begin to package it in a way. And finally, be unique whilst you are doing, you're spreading your risks. Be unique in the way you are doing. I like it. If you are unique, you'll be competitive, you'll be visible on the market. People will see you because you are unique. If you become regular like any other person that is doing the same thing, you begin to see that people will not see you, take you seriously. Be serious, be punctual, be a timekeeper, manage decisions smartly, and you'll be able to go far. This is my talk for you today, and God bless you and enjoy the day.